Star Wars Return to the Big Screen is tentatively scheduled for May 2026 as filming for The Mandalorian and Grogu has officially wrapped. Now, that's, of course, notwithstanding any of the, I would imagine, scheduled reshoots at this point in time. It's all about that Lucasfilm magic, but it'll be interesting, right? Because I would imagine, okay, we're not going to hear too much about it because D23 is down in Brazil this week or next week or something like that, but we might hear a little bit about what's going to be the follow-up to Mandalorian and Grogu. What can we expect moving forward? But I'll be interested to see if there's any more of a budget afforded to this repurposing of season 4, and then also what the trailer's going to do, okay? What the performance of that is going to be, because if you recall, a lot of people hopped off the Mando train after the conclusion of season 3 and how abysmally that was received. So how well is a film going to do? That's going to be a big wake-up call over there for Lucasfilm, but what is going to be the next project heading out there, okay? Is it going to be James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi film, where it's completely new setting, brand new characters, no references, no Star Wars meta outside of some of the iconography that theoretically set thousands of years before any of your favorite characters are out there? That's when it's supposed to be happening, and yeah, that's one of those projects that's been out there in the lurch for a very long time that I guess is getting fast-tracked, or at least it's at least progressing forward outside of just simple rumors and rhetoric. But Dawn of the Jedi, that film could shoot next year, as Daisy Ridley claims her Rey film is evolving. Well, that's kind of interesting, but let's see what Mangold's up to. Okay, it is rumored that James Mangold's Star Wars film, focused on the creation of the Jedi Order, could begin shooting as early as next year, as the rumors come amid Daisy Ridley sharing that things are evolving for her Rey film. Screenwriter reports that Ridley provided an update on a Star Wars film during an early screening of her recent film, Magpie. She said that things are evolving. I continue to be very excited. There will be an update soon. Oh yes, even by the end of this video, perhaps. It's unclear what that means. But Ridley has commented throughout the year that she has not seen a script for the film, but choose to return as Rey after hearing a pitch from Kathleen Kennedy over breakfast. Yeah, exactly. And they brought her right up there on stage last year at Star Wars Celebration alongside Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, the activist feminist director who is going to be bringing Rey back to the silver screen. Is it going to be episode 10? Who knows? That'd be about the only way that you can avoid complete and total disaster, and hell, that might not even save that project. In fact, she claimed that the film could be shooting either at the end of this year or early next year. I don't imagine there would be any more productions getting kicked off here in the final 2 months of the year. That's normally when Hollywood starts to really slow down production, but okay. She said, I think it could be this year. Won't be. It could be. I'm not sure. I think, to be honest, the writer's strike is obviously delayed. Oh, right. Yeah, that thing that happened last year. Even though you guys couldn't get any bullet points for a script to get. No, definitely. While Ridley claimed that her film is evolving, new rumor from Daniel Richman of World of Real claims that James Mangold's Origin of the Jedi Order film could begin filming as early as next year. Yeah, I could imagine. Okay, World of Real's Jordan Arumani reports Daniel Richman is saying that after Complete Unknown, Mangold's set to shoot his his Star Wars movie, Dawn of the Jedi, and it could happen as early as next year. Mangold's film was announced back at Star Wars Celebration in 2023. Press release from Lucasfilm said at the time that it would take audiences deep into the past, telling of the tale of the first Jedi to wield the Force and harness liberating power in an era of chaos and oppression. And yeah, in a vacuum, that could be good, but this is also Lucasfilm. Kathleen Kennedy's still in place. James Mangold is also fresh off of, well, you've seen the picture right there, Dial of Destiny, so he knows how to work at Lucasfilm, and we've seen what he's produced over there. This isn't the same guy who did Logan. This is the guy who did Dial of fucking Destiny, bro. If you had any hope for that film, put it squarely in the same bin that you have for a potential Rey follow-up, because Star Wars Daisy Ridley clarifies rumors of the new Jedi Order 2026 release date when everything is ready to go. Is it going to be coming out in 2026? Is it going to be the follow-up to Mandalorian and the Grogu? Oh yeah, absolutely not, because oh yeah, that film, yeah, I just lost its screenwriter, bro. Oh shit. About the only thing that you could point to and go, you know what? Might not be that bad. Okay, like, I understand. Okay, you got the activist director, you've got the talentless hack as the star. You've got Kathleen Kennedy over the top of it, but he theoretically had a screenwriter. He has a pretty good track record of producing some quality projects, so it's like, well, everything else could be crap. The script could be good. Maybe could get something. Well, nope, that's simply not going to be the case because they need to go ahead and get rid of him so that they can make a big splash next Star Wars Celebration, or hell, maybe that'll be one of the big shockers at D23, or the next convention to come out that, yes, we have a new screenwriter for the Rey movie, and she is wonderful. A new report claims that Lucasfilm is seeking another new screenwriter for its new Jedi Order film that is expected to star Daisy Ridley and directed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. A report from Matt Baloney at Puck News claims that Stephen Knight, who had been tapped to write the film after Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson, what did he get married to his boyfriend, were dumped from the project, is off the new the new Jedi Order film project. Well, this is something that has been ruminated on throughout this entire year, because you remember how Disney started the year, right? Like, you had Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy doing her own self-produced media tour, stopping on, I think, the New Year's Eve, CNN's New Year's Eve party, saying it's about time that a woman finally takes charge of Star Wars. And it's like, I beg your bitch, I beg your pardon. It's finally time for a woman to take control of Star Wars. Yeah, we know exactly what we're dealing with here. And then not that long after that announcement, what was it, within the next week or so, you had the announcement that Mandalorian and Grogu, yeah, we're going to be going forward with that movie right there, and it's going to be fantastic. And all right, Ahsoka season 2, so you could have a lot more boring content for Disney Plus and shots of sweeping landscapes in between pregnant pauses in dialogue delivery. That show is so AIDS, bro, but you're going to be getting season 2 because you need to jangle the key of Thrawn for a few years before we can get on the other side of the Mandalorian and Grogu. So Dave Filoni can go ahead and do a big Mandoverse wrap-up movie, which I'm sure 6,800 people are super excited for. Baloney added, yes, Lucasfilm is now hunting for a new writer for the new Jedi Order, which almost certainly means the film will not be ready by December 26th, the date Disney has staked out for a Star Wars release, which, yeah, if they're going to be earmarking something from Lucasfilm at that point in time, the James Mangold film is shooting next year. Kind of makes sense that would end up filling the slate, and that they next year at some point in time make the announcement that, yep, Rey is going to be back and she's going to be leading the sequel trilogy. You bet your sweet ass that's what they're going to be doing right here. The report comes following Daisy Ridley claiming that things are evolving with the film. During a screening of a recent film, Magpie, I continue to be very excited. There will be an update soon. I bet there will be. As far as Knight being offered the project, this is not surprising. Yes, back in September, Scooper and entertainment analyst WDW Pro speculated that Knight had moved on, giving the announcement that he plans to open a studio in Los Angeles to film Peaky Blinders. So yeah, he's working on a Peaky Blinders movie. He is, I do believe, the primary screenwriter for that show. And yeah, opening up a studio, penning that script, that's going to take a lion's share of his time. And if Lucasfilm and Disney have certain time frame that they want to get this Rey movie done, it's just simply not really lining up. And I told the BBC, I'm going to open a Digbeth Lock studio here where people can go and look at what we're doing, see pictures, decks, and videos of what's happening, so people in LA can experience what we're doing at Digbeth. And it's like, okay, cool. Weird that people are moving into the ghost town of Hollywood, but I must have got some kind of an incentive, even when a lot of Hollywood studios are now looking abroad to open up studios elsewhere. Wow, imagine that. You continue to vote for the policies that eventually drive you out of the place because it's no longer financially solvent to make those decisions, huh? Weird. Following this report, WDW Pro speculated he is wrapping up in opening studio. There's no small endeavor, and our understanding is that he's supposed to be working on the Rey movie with Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy with Lucasfilm, and that would be an ongoing process. It seems to us, Lorne, and again, we could be wrong here, but seems to us that he is now going to be working on Peaky Blinders thing. And that makes us wonder if the Rey movie has been delayed such that he can work on this for years and years and then come back to it later, or he'd been removed and nobody knows it yet, which ended up in fact being the case. But yeah, that has led to a lot of speculation from the people that have talked about this, because this story broke late last week. And that's fine. I wanted to see if there's going to be any official movement, if there was going to be another one of those Lucasfilm leaks, like how they said that, oh yeah, right, yeah, the Acolyte, we're not going to have like an official announcement for it, but that shit ain't going forward. Nope, it's been canceled. Okay, so any of our plans moving forward, don't worry about them. We'll be getting rid of that series in all form and fashion very soon. But yeah, no, haven't heard anything about this, at least right now, which is leading a lot of people to wonder, is this going to be another one of those Star Wars projects that got announced and ends up in a similar fate to the Rian Johnson trilogy? Oh, we love him, and we're going to be working with him very, very soon. Taika Waititi's movie, which he puts as what, like 6th priority, but because he directed a couple of episodes of Mandalorian, okay, like he should definitely be getting another crack and on the big screen, of course, because his last big outing under the Disney umbrella was received so well. Thor: Love and Thunder, people still talk about that glowingly. No? Oh, okay. Dan and Dave, the writers for Game of Thrones, right? They're supposed to be getting a movie or something like that. Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron film. You have all of these different Star Wars projects that have been announced, and that they still love them. They're still moving forward. Is the Rey movie going to end up facing a similar fate? And I've never really come down on the side that this would just end up getting silently pushed to the side. I very much think that this is going to be moving forward. Lucasfilm has invested far too much in the character of Rey to simply brush her aside. How could they continue mainline Star Wars without acknowledging the protagonist of the sequel trilogy? It's just not possible. Okay, they are never going to decanonize any of their stuff, even as atrocious and how canon destroying and creatively bankrupt as it is. That's what they did. That's what they're going with. They'll try to repair it or do something with it, and that will of course involve the character of Rey Palpatine in some form or fashion. And then also, you attach a professional victim like Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy over the top of this, and if you think that you're just going to silently push this film off to the side and she would stay quiet about it, even if you just filled her coffers full of mouse bucks, it's like that was never going to happen. They pigeonholed themselves into this project, and by hook or by crook, it's going to get made. And if you think the reception to that Mandalorian and Grogu film is going to be bad, because I can imagine when we get the first trailer of that, it's going to get ratioed. It's going to get lambasted, and I'm sure it might look a little bit better. It might look, the production values might be akin or maybe a little bit better than season 1 of Mandalorian and Grogu. Or, I'm sorry, The Mandalorian, right? Because season 2 was a bit of a step down, and then season 3 looks like it was shot on an iPhone in Disney's back parking lot. So yeah, they might up the budget a little bit, and then when we find out how much it actually cost, it was kind of like The Acolyte. Oh, 180 million. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, 180 million euro. I beg your pardon? So $250 million was spent on that ass cancer. Fantastic. You guys really know how to waste money. But for the most part, it's people who are in the know that are going to look at that Mandalorian and Grogu trailer that eventually does come out and go, yeah, it's still going to be written by the same people that brought you Jack Black and Lizzo. Not looking forward to this. But for normies that are out there, they might recognize Baby Grogu, but then wonder why is Boba Fett wearing chrome armor? Like, what happened to the green ones? I like the green ones. I don't think that the Mandalorian has widespread public appeal, especially 5 years after him being any kind of culturally relevant icon, because that's when season 1 dropped, and that was about when that show was its most popular. Then by the time we eventually do come back around to this Rey movie, this is going to be just the cap on the Kathleen Kennedy tenure at Lucasfilm. How you turned the most profitable, the biggest cinematic franchise in Hollywood history, how you milked it dry and left its carcass out to rot in the sun for over a half a decade. By the time that Mandalorian and Grogu hits the theaters, it'll be over 6.5 years since there has been a Star Wars movie in theaters. 6.5 years. And potentially it could be the full 7 if it needs to go in for reshoots, if it ends up taking the theoretical Rey spot at the end of the year. It's going to be a wild time in 2025 for Star Wars, because just gotta one planned project. You got Andor season 2, which will probably be good, but then it's ultimately going to be a fart in the wind because there's no continuation there. That is the end of that project. And then potentially Ahsoka season 2. That's about it. That's all that they have on the slate, and it's going to be, oh boy, there's going to be a lot of time for a bunch of people to think what is actually going on over there. I wonder if there's going to be more eyes opened, or more people just simply glazed over to the fact that Star Wars of yesteryear is no longer the Star Wars of today, and Kathleen Kennedy will eventually have to own up to this. It's just, nobody's going to hold her responsible until she's long gone from this industry. And when is she going to be long gone? Oh, I thought at this point in time, like, her contract was supposed to be up at the end of October, guys. She's going to be leaving it at any time. No. She's going to be leaving when she's goddamn good and ready. Even if that means that Lucasfilm and every one of their IPs is a smoldering pile of cancer, which consequently absolutely is. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.